Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into something that every single iPhone user experiences, but that developers and designers, well, they have to master it. I'm talking about the modal. It's that little screen that pops up over your main app view. And understanding how it works, that's absolutely key to creating a great user experience. So let's get right into it. So let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed that some pop-ups just feel helpful and light, but others, they feel like a brick wall, just completely stopping you in your tracks? Well, I'm here to tell you that's not an accident. Nope, it's a very, very deliberate design choice. The secret? It's all in something called the modal presentation style. You can think of this as the rule book that tells an app how to show you that new screen. Is it going to take over everything? Can you just swipe it away? It all comes down to this one crucial property. Okay, to really get a handle on modals today, we have to go back in time a little bit, to a huge turning point in iOS history. A single update completely changed the whole philosophy of how apps should interact with us. This one slide really captures the entire shift perfectly. We moved from the old way, that full screen, that total takeover where you had no idea what was behind it, to the new default, page sheet. It's this card that just floats on top. It keeps you grounded in the app, and you can just easily swipe it away. It was a huge move from interruption to interaction. And there it is, the magic number, iOS 13. This is when that new, friendlier card-style modal became the default. It might seem like a small change on the surface, but it signaled a massive shift in Apple's whole approach to user experience design. And that was pretty much the new rule of the land. Apple was sending a really clear message to the entire developer community. Stop trapping your users. Give them context, give them control, keep the experience fluid. Full screen takeovers were just not the standard anymore. So how does this whole philosophy actually translate into a practical toolkit for developers? I mean, while the card style is the new default, there are actually a bunch of different types of modals, and each one is designed for a really specific job. First up, let's talk about the heavy hitters. These are the styles you use when you absolutely positively need the user's undivided attention, and there's just no going back without finishing the task at hand. So you've got the classic full screen. This is that brick wall we were talking about earlier. It's powerful for sure, and sometimes it's absolutely necessary. Think about a login screen, or maybe a critical multi-step process. You use this when the user's context, whatever was behind the model, is completely irrelevant until this task is done. Then you've got its sibling, overFullScreen, which is a little more subtle. It also covers the whole screen, but, and this is the key part, it can be transparent. This is perfect for something like a loading spinner with a dimmed background when you're uploading a photo. You're still halting the user, but you're also showing them that, hey, the app is still working underneath. You're maintaining that visual connection. All right, now for the more modern, flexible tools. These are the styles that give you information or options without making you feel like you've been dragged into a completely different part of the app. The form sheet is mostly an iPad tool. It presents this nice, centered sheet for tasks like filling out a form or, say, applying filters in an email app. It just makes perfect use of that larger screen, letting the user focus on the task while still seeing their main content around the edges. Okay, now for a pair that can be a little tricky. They both operate within a smaller part of the screen, not the whole window. But they have one tiny difference that changes everything about how you'd use them. The key difference is all right there in that transparency column. See, .currentContext is opaque. It completely replaces what's underneath it. But .overCurrentContext, that allows for transparency. And that makes it absolutely perfect for things like a custom drop-down menu that appears over the content without completely hiding it. Finally, we have the Specialist. This tool is a total chameleon. It completely changes its shape and its behavior depending on what device you're using. And this is the Popover. On an iPad, it's that beautiful little bubble of options that points to the button you just tapped, right? Like when you select a drawing tool in a Notes app. It's fantastic for context menus, but, and this is a big but, on an iPhone, it defaults to behaving like a full-screen modal. It's the same code, but a completely different user experience, and that's something every developer has to remember. So, we've got all these tools in our toolkit. The big question is, how do we choose the right one? How do we use them to build apps that feel modern, intuitive, and, well, respectful of the user's time? Well, it really all comes down to these 3 modern rules. First, match the modal to the task. Is it critical? Okay, maybe full screen is the right call. Is it just a quick setting change? Use a sheet. Second, don't pull out the big guns for small jobs. A full screen takeover just to ask for a like? That feels aggressive. And finally, when in doubt, just embrace the modern default. That card-style sheet. It's interactive, it's contextual, and it's what users expect now. And we'll end on this question. Whether you're a developer, a designer, or just a curious user, take a look at the apps you use every single day. Think about those pop-ups. Now that you know the language of modals, you can actually see the intent behind them. Are they guiding you, or are they just getting in your way? The answer really says everything you need to know about the quality of that app.